Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between lush hills and a sparkling river, there lived a young man named Chemo. He was a kind and gentle soul who had grown up yearning to be a leader. The villagers believed that the next king would be chosen by the Great Crow, a mythical bird that brought wisdom and guidance to the land. The day of the selection arrived, and all the villagers gathered under the ancient tree where the Great Crow would appear. The people had waited long for new leadership, especially since their previous king had fallen ill. Chemo was filled with hope as he stood among the villagers. However, the chefs of the village were busy preparing a feast for the Great Crow's arrival. They were not impressed by Chemo's humble background. Instead, they favored another young man named Enzo, who came from a wealthy family. Enzo was charming, but his nature was arrogant, and he did not treat the villagers with respect. As the feast progressed, the chefs decided to cook elaborately for Enzo, paying little attention to Chemo. They prepared extravagant dishes, laced with spices and adorned with delicate flowers. Chemo, on the other hand, while not being a chef, made a simple meal of roasted roots and herbs he had foraged from the earth near his home. When the time came for the Great Crow to make its appearance, the villagers looked to the sky in anticipation. The majestic bird soared, casting a shadow over the gathering, and landed gracefully before them. It observed both young men intently. As the chefs presented the lavish meal for Enzo, the Great Crow turned its gaze away disinterestedly. Then came Chemo, with his humble dish. He offered it sincerely, sharing stories of his life and values, speaking of kindness, respect, and unity. The Great Crow listened and tasted Chemo's offering. Instantly, the air shimmered with a golden light, and the villagers gasped. The crow cawed, lifting its wings and spreading its feathers wide. It spoke with a voice that resonated through the hearts of the villagers. A true leader is not defined by wealth, but by their character and the love they share. With that, the Great Crow dropped a feather at Chemo's feet. The villagers cheered, realizing that Chemo was the one worthy of being their king. Enzo looked around, bewildered, as he had believed wealth alone could grant him the crown. Chemo knelt before the Great Crow and accepted the feather with gratitude, promising to serve the village fairly and justly. The crow took to the sky one last time, and as it soared away, the villagers knew that their land would thrive under Chemo's gentle reign. From that day forward, Chemo ruled with integrity. He reminded everyone that true greatness lies within, not in riches or appearances. And so, the village flourished, cherished not only for its new king, but also for the lessons of humility and kindness that echoed through its hills. And thus, the story of Chemo, the young man destined to be King Crow, was told for generations, inspiring all who heard it to value character over material wealth.